2023 was a rollercoaster of emotions for Xbox fans. Console exclusive Redfall wasn't that great, but sci-fi epic Starfield was pretty okay. In truth, Xbox's strength is the sheer variety of games available through Xbox Games Pass, and we had the most fun with lesser hyped games such as Lies of P, the stunning Hi-Fi Rush, and indie gems like Planet of Lana. In this video, we're picking the 10 best upcoming Xbox games that belong on your playlist, with a focus on Xbox exclusive titles, must-play blockbusters, and amazing indies that make the most of your Games Pass subscription. Of course, as a Games Pass subscriber, you're getting all of these games included in your subscription, meaning instead of a now normal $70 per game, you're looking at around $120 for the year. I'm Tom, this is FGS, let's dive in and find your next best favourite game. Number 10, Killing Floor 3. For a series that has sold over 10 million copies across the first 2 entries, brace yourself for the thrilling saga of Killing Floor 3, a game that promises to feed our zombie cravings in a world where good zombie games are as rare as a politician's honest apology. Back 4 Blood stumbled like a toddler learning to walk, Call of Duty Zombies got lost in the money printing machine, and the recent Dead Island and Dying Light entries felt like mediocre appetizers. But fear not, for Killing Floor 3 is here to offer a buffet of experimental slaughter. They may not technically be zombies, but who cares? They're Zeds, and that's close enough. Number 9, Clockwork Revolution. Now let's talk about Clockwork Revolution, a game that's like travelling in a steampunk DeLorean through a Dishonored world. Steampunk as set dressing? Fantastic. But time-bending mechanics? Now we're cooking with plutonium. This game is like Dishonored 2's time travel mission got turned up to 11 and pulled out to be a full game. It's a first-person shooter featuring steampunky robot soldiers, time travel, and a villain so grandiose it makes singing Bowser look like an out-of-tune busker. Here's to hoping my future self won't come back to kick my ass for missing out on it when it releases sometime in 2024 as a day 1 release on Games Pass. Number 8, The Wolf Among Us 2. Telltale's much-delayed sequel has a torture development history that would make for a compelling narrative in its own right. Let's see how quickly I can sum this up. Telltale announced the second game in 2017, that was then delayed until May 2018, cancelled in September 2018 when Telltale itself closed down. Telltale was then brought back to life in October. All of the works previous to 2018 were scrapped, another sequel was announced in 2019, another studio called Ad Hoc got involved, development switched from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5, the game was supposed to be released in March 2023 but got delayed to 2024, and more recently Telltale have laid off a bunch of staff working on the game, including the cinematic artist. So, we're hoping that when this game finally releases, it'll build on the success of the first title, with a journey through twisted folk tales, mysteries, fairy tale characters we know and love, and a narrative with more bite than Grandma's dentures. Number 7, Dungeons of Hinterburg. Now let's delve into the indie realm with Dungeons of Hinterburg. Xbox's big first-party offering haven't quite hit the mark just yet, and it's the indie gems that often save the day. Hi-Fi Rush and the Ori series were delightful finds for many Game Pass subscribers, and now Dungeons of Hinterburg is the indie superhero that convinced me not to give my Xbox the boot. Unique art style, monster slaying, exploration, puzzle solving, snowboarding, rail grinding, and riding tornadoes. It's like the ultimate gaming package. Dungeons of Hinterburg is due to release in 2024, which has been confirmed by developer Microbird Games in the latest trailers and on social, but there is no exact date just yet. Number 6, Hollow Knight Silksong. Hollow Knight Silksong, the game that's been playing hard to get. 4 years after its announcement, with almost no updates in between, Team Cherry's wildly anticipated action-adventure is tipped to appear in 2024, and it was recently confirmed as coming to Game Pass, so it's gotta be on this list. It's clear then that Hollow Knight's blend of platforming and 2D combat is returning for Silksong. In fact, Team Cherry looks to have made the platforming distinctly more acrobatic with Hornet than with the Knight in the original game. The new protagonist looks like a gymnast compared to the Knight, deftly flipping over huge enemies with ease. Healing also works differently in Silksong. Instead of slowly refilling her health like the Knight did, Hornet can instantly heal 3 health nodes. And not only that, but she can also do this on the move. However, Hornet also has a Silk meter, and healing 3 nodes of health immediately empties the bar. Everybody is hyped for this game. It was the 3rd most wanted game on any platform in the Golden Joystick Awards' recent global poll, ahead of blockbusters such as Death Stranding 2 and Star Wars Outlaws. For Hollow Knight Silksong, it's got healing on the move, a silk meter, and a dance between life and death. It's like a ballet of bugs, and I'm front row center. Number 5, Sunua Saga Hellblade 2. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is the beacon of hope in Xbox's exclusive lineup. Hellblade is like the heavyweight champion training for the big fight. The original had that special something, but it was like Manny Pacquiao, rough around the edges and a bit too short. The sequel is going all in on photorealism, and if it can match that with a narrative and mechanics that hit Senua's Sacrifice heights consistently, oh, this is going to be game-changing. In a conversation with Vandal, Juan Fernandez, the combat designer, shared insights into Ninja Theory's ambitious plans to elevate the combat experience of Hellblade 2. He highlighted that the initial game was crafted with a team of fewer than 20 individuals. However, for the sequel, Ninja Theory have significantly expanded its production team. As a consequence, anticipations are high for Hellblade 2's combat to showcase enhanced depth and a greater diversity of adversaries. Out of all the games in the 2024 lineup, it's the one that has me intrigued like a cat staring at a laser pointer, because we know so little, but have seen so much. Number 4, Avowed. Hold on to your glowing swords, everyone. No, not lightsabers. Glowing magical fantasy swords. Because Avowed is the latest and greatest first-person fantasy adventure concoction brewing in the creative cauldron that is Obsidian Entertainment, the wizards behind Fallout New Vegas. Unveiled to us mere mortals in 2020 with a teaser trailer that left us wanting more, the game has now graciously granted us a peek into its mystical gameplay realm, showcasting spell-slinging showdowns, narrative pathways that diverge like a choose-your-own-adventure book, and, believe it or not, firearms thrown into the mix. Because who needs a wand when you have a good old-fashioned blunderbuss? Picture this, a world where Obsidian's RPG Pillars of Eternity laid its roots. But this time, the fog of war has cleared, revealing a whole new area, letting you explore a completely uncharted territory. Avowed invites us to traverse a novel region in Eora, a place dripping with whispers of a nefarious plague that's not just content with our bodies, but has its sights set on our very souls. Wow, move over COVID, these sniffles are gonna suck out my soul. Enter a medieval wonderland, the kind that's seen more battles than a seasoned gladiator's jockstrap, with dilapidated castles, the former pride and joy of an empire ruled by queens and kings who were clearly card-carrying members of the War Enthusiast Club. Alas, the empire now stands as a crumbling testament to broken oaths and shattered dreams. Now, merely an Airbnb for an unseen villainous force. And speaking of villains, Avowed's monster lineup is like a Halloween parade on steroids. Skeletons, the bony mischief makers, have RSVP'd for a special soiree, born out of the sins of the fallen empire. Brace yourself, it's time to face the music. Or, in this case, the clattering bones. Dem bone, thy bones, or whatever that song is. Now for some juicy leaks and rumours. Avowed is not just a game, it's a whole cosmos to get lost in. Apparently it's much larger than Skyrim, with a real-time weather system thrown in, and, just for kicks, mod support. Because why settle for ordinary when you can put Thomas the Tank Engine in a game? And hold on to your dragon mounts, because the leaks promise a grand open-world experience where you can recruit companions, tackle colossal bosses that make giants look like garden gnomes, with dynamic dialogues apparently on the menu, and rumour has it that Obsidian is feeling rather generous, considering it allows players to kill everyone in the game. Wow, talk about an open world buffet of death. As for the release, the Mystical Seers haven't whispered a precise date yet, but mark your calendars for 2024. The year Avowed plans to make its grand entrance for this first-person RPG spectacle, is deigned to grace the realms of Xbox Series X and S, PC, and of course, the magical land of the Xbox Game Pass on day one. So get your virtual armor ready, Avowed awaits, promising a journey that'll make the fantastical tales of yore blush in comparison. Number 3, Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. The tumultuous journey of Stalker 2. We have now been assured that the long-awaited successor to the 2009 classic is nearing completion, and oh boy, do we want to see more, because what little glimpses we've had have been more impressive than a cat juggling radioactive chainsaws on top of an old GameCube. As a spooky setting, Chernobyl is perfect. The kind of place that makes your average haunted house look like a cozy tea party. In this sequel to the original Stalker trilogy, GSC Game World claims that you don't need a PhD in stalkerology to enjoy the escapades in the heart of Chernobyl. You'll don the digital boots of Skiff, a character destined for adventures that 90% of which will end in radiation exposure. But hold on to your Geiger counters, because this isn't your typical stroll in the park. It's a mind-boggling open world that GSC boasts is one of the biggest open worlds in video games to date. 60 square kilometers of survival, exploration, and probably a bit of running away from things that go bump in the radioactive night. With over 100 hours of gameplay promised, you might as well pack a bag of holding or that Mary Poppins suitcase because you're in for a Chernobyl-sized vacation. Marvel at the wonders of the Chernobyl exclusive zone, a place where day turns into night, the weather throws tantrums, and survival is about as straightforward as solving a Rubik's Cube in the dark, using your feet while you're covered in Vaseline. Hunger, sleep, bleeding, and radiation effects are all part of the survival package, ensuring your digital self has a more challenging life than most millennials trying to adult. Prepare for spectacle when factions and mutants battle for living space. They migrate, they capture territories, and presumably argue who left the mutant refrigerator door open. The result? A non-linear narrative that ensures no trips through the zone are ever quite the same, making it the choose-your-own apocalypse adventure of the gaming world. Weapons, you ask? Oh, Skiff has got over 30 to choose from, each with its own set of mods. Want a silencer? A scope? Well, you can install them on the fly like a digital MacGyver. But the fancy stuff, that's a job for the technicians in the game that you'll need to go and see, the true wizards of the Stalker realm. Stalker 2 has seen many delays due to the ongoing war in Ukraine. We're hoping to see this in 2024, as that's when it's currently slated to come out. But the important thing is that the devs are safe and we get to enjoy this game when it is good and ready. For those with an Xbox Games Pass, consider it your green radiation ticket to Stalker Paradise on day one. So disinfect your controller, don your hazmat suit, and charge up your Geiger counter. The zone awaits, Stalker 2 awaits, promising a radioactive odyssey that makes Fallout's wasteland look like a walk in the pixelated park. Number 2. Another Crab's Treasure. And now the most incredibly crabtivating game I've seen for a while, and yes, I did steal that pun from somebody else. Dive into the crabtastic world of Another Crab's Treasure, the latest crustacean-themed Souls-like that will have you questioning the sanity of the game developers. You play as Krill, waging epic battles in the grimy depths of the polluted sea. Forget pristine waters, we're talking about an aquatic garbage dump, a true paradise for any self-respecting crab, especially one that needs a new shell. As you guide Krill through the expansive seabed, you'll realize that in this game, pollution isn't just an environmental concern, it's your greatest ally. Krill ingeniously transforms discarded cans and over 50 other random objects into a makeshift shield, because nothing says heroic crustacean like hiding behind a flower pot while battling underwater baddies. But here's the kicker. Krill's shell is more versatile than a chameleon at a rainbow convention. Depending on your whims and fancies, it could be a flower pot, a used plastic cup, or any other item that had been thrown out with that pet crocodile. Who knew being a crab could be so fashion forward? Now brace yourself for the most ludicrous easy mode since someone decided to give Sonic a car. In Another Crab's Treasure, they've cranked up the absurdity with an easy mode that allows you to strap a handgun onto Krill instead of a boring old plastic shell. Because when facing adversaries in an underwater game, what's better than pulling out a firearm? It's like bringing a gun to a crab fight. There's no joke here, it's literally like shooting a crab with a gun. You're going to win and it's totally not fair. Another Crab's Treasure is poised to hit Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PC, and Games Pass on day one. Meanwhile, if you can't contain your excitement, you can get a sneak peek of the Krabby Mayhem on Steam as a demo right now. And now our number one pick, Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn. Flintlock is the newest RPG in town, ready to kick your ass and your health bar, blending guns, swords, and magic into a fantastical fiesta. Because why settle for just one flavour of destruction when you can have the whole enchanted buffet? In this pixelated epic, you'll be trotting along the war-torn landscape with Nor Van Eck. Not your everyday soldier, but a dynamite enthusiast at the front line of a war against the old gods. Move over, fireworks! Nor's about to light up the battlefield with explosions that could rival a 4th of July extravaganza. When tragedy strikes, she deserts her post and, hearing a rumour about a possible god-killing weapon, sets off to find it. Because who needs therapy when you can have a god-killing gun, right? Nor's not navigating this perilous journey solo. Enter Enki, the magical sidekick that's part fox, part wizard, and all mischief. He's not just a fluffy companion, Enki's got dark magic up his furry sleeves. Perfect for both kicking undead butt and stylish air travel. Leave your broomsticks at home, Enki launches onto floating nodes and zips through the air like a caffeinated hummingbird on a mission. Flintlock the Siege of Dawn isn't your run-of-the-mill linear adventure. It's an open-world extravaganza. Imagine yourself gallivanting through cities, deserts, and dark ruins, all while trying to keep the undead from turning your neighborhood into a ghost town. Axe wielding, gunfire, magic spells, you name it, Flintlock's got it. And it's ready to serve you a banquet of combat options. Flintlock's added bit of spicy magic is that it's on Xbox Games Pass as a day one release. So gear up, reload those Flintlock pistols, and get ready for an action-packed adventure. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn is storming onto the scene in 2024, and it's bringing a whole new meaning to the phrase,
"This is my boomstick!"
So that's our pick for the best upcoming Xbox games of 2024, and that's without mentioning that Baldur's Gate 3 is yet to get an Xbox release date, or the contents of that explosive Xbox mega leak earlier in the year, and potentially huge games like Indiana Jones. Let us know what games you're most excited about in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to FGS for more great 2024 preview videos over the coming weeks.